Moment. Hey everybody, it is Shelly Show Williams Motivation Monday. It's a special day. We normally do it on third Monday, but today I just wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to talk to the man right here. His name is Glenn Lundy. Hello, Glenn Lundy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Shelly Shell Williams?
I am awesome and amazing. I am just excited. I've been on TV for a lot of years. But I have also been nervous. This is I don't even know why it has been in my spirit. I've just been nervous all day, because I really, some interviews you usually do, but this is one of the ones I really wanted to do. So I'm excited.
Oh, well, you're super, super kind, and I'm excited to be here as well.
So
I appreciate you.
No, thank you. So I know you. I've been following you since I've had the opportunity to speak on the same stage as you virtually with Super Joe Pardo. Shout out to Super Joe Pardo. So I've been watching you. I'm really checking out what you're doing. So why don't you tell everybody what you do? I know you hashtag rise and grind and bless.
Oh, yeah. My name is Glenn Lundy, and I am a husband to one and a father to 8. I am the host of hashtag rise and grind, the daily morning show bringing motivation, education, and inspiration to the world. And I am also the founder of Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse, which is a morning show where we create space for everyone to get a seat at the table. And so, that's me in a sentence or two, in a nutshell. And I'm super happy to be here.
In a nutshell, but the most amazing thing is you're a believer. You're a believer in Christ, and you include Christ in everything you do. How did you decide how you were going to, include Christ, include the message, not alienate other people? How did you actually get to that point?
Yeah, so, I've lived on both sides of being a believer. I spent the first almost 30 years of my life totally not believing at all whatsoever. And then I've spent the last 13 years on the other side of that. And so I think just knowing and understanding the perspective that I used to have and never forgetting that. And I hated it when people came at me certain ways. And so I just don't want to be that person, right? As far as I'm concerned, the Bible says, come as you are. And so I try to meet people exactly where they are. And if that means that we identify because we both drank alcohol, we identify because we both had sex or babies before marriage. Maybe we identify because we've both been in jail. Maybe we identify because we've both been homeless before. Maybe we identify because we both did drugs at some point. Like whatever that identifying place is, I just try to meet people where they're at and be cognizant of that all the time. So I am not a preacher in any way, shape, or form, but I can't not express what saved my life and my belief. And so I just try to tell stories in a way that it can connect with people. And then in the end, once I got them like, oh, this guy's cool and we're friends and we're hooked up and all of that, then I come around the backside and I kind of knock them over the head with the, hey, you are a child of God and you are loved by the Father, that type of thing. So that's just always been my strategy. I shouldn't even call it a strategy. It's just the way I live my life in all things, is to try to put myself in people's shoes, find some common ground that we can connect on, build a relationship, and then model my belief system so that ultimately they start to ask more questions about it.
Awesome. You say you're not a preacher, which I understand, but yet I just have to point this out. On Resurrection Sunday, you delivered a powerful message from the Lord. I mean, isn't that preaching? It's also it's great being a great orator, but isn't that preaching right there? What was that?
I'm not a preacher by trade.
By certificate.
Yeah, by certificate. That's it, man. I'm just a guy with God in his heart, and that comes out. Whatever goes in is what comes out, and so I'm thankful that that's what spills out of me and I'm thankful that God uses my mouthpiece and uses me as a vessel to share His word in the way that He does. And so, when I say I'm not a preacher, I mean, the box of what most people think a preacher is. I'm not that.
You're not that, not by certificate. I'm not even sure why I was on it, but it really blew me away, your story and how your son wanted to get baptized on Resurrection Sunday. I thought it was powerful. It was just powerful. It's one of those things. I listen to messages all day long. It was one of those things that stick in your spirit, and you're like, yeah, God, you using it. You know what I mean? For that.
No
So many
doubt.
things.
Thank you. Yeah, what a special moment that was. He was insistent, and my son has always had the spirit in him from the get-go. The first time we ever took him to a worship night out at the church, he'd never been to one before, and we went in, and he was in the row in front of us, and the music was playing, and this boy he had his hands up, and he was just waving, and we ain't like that. Like, we don't worship like that. So he didn't get that from us. He just the spirit moves through him, and he loves it, man. He memorizes Bible verses and memorizes songs, Christian songs, and it's just incredible to see the seed that God has planted in him. It's been such a gift for all of us.
Awesome. That's how he's using you and him. So I know one of the things I've noticed that really just took me, and I tell, so it's almost like you're my friend in my head, but I tell so many people about Rise and Grind Morning Show. The Rise and Grind, the most amazing thing about the Rise and Grind Morning Show is I speak on repurposing, but you repurpose at the same exact time. So while you're doing the Rise and Grind Morning Show, you're on Instagram, Facebook, and Clubhouse. How do you even do it? I'm like, what equipment are you using? What in the world? How can you do this?
I don't know, man. I'm like a one-man band, the guy that's got like the harmonica wired to his face, and he's got his feet strapped to some drums. He's playing the accordion and banging his knees together to be the cymbals. Like, that's me in the mornings. I've got a Rodecaster sound mixer hooked up to Clubhouse. I've got another sound mixer that's hooked up. It's Zenix, Zenyx. I got a Zenix sound mixer that's hooked up to Facebook. I got two different microphones, one running to Facebook, one's running to Clubhouse, and then I've got Instagram on an additional cell phone that I have that's up on the podium, and I'm running audio MP3 files into Clubhouse at the same time as I'm running video with sound into Facebook. So on Facebook, you see it and hear it. In Clubhouse, you hear it. And in Instagram, you just get the behind the scenes of the whole thing. So it's, coordination, clicking buttons. But I've also done this show 856 times. So, I haven't always done it on Clubhouse. I've only done that the last 100 times. And I hadn't always done it on Instagram. I've only done that like the last 50 times. But it's just like, it's like juggling. You learn to juggle with two, and then somebody throws you a third one, you figure it out. And then a fourth, and then a fifth, and then a sixth. And just depends on how good you want to get at it. The mind is a powerful thing. And we as children of God have incredible gifts when we get laser focused on using our talents, our God-given talents. It's incredible what you can do. So it just started with me being able to do this and look at a camera, and now it's become all of this.
It is kind of amazing. And you talk about the Clubhouse, and you've done it 100 times because the Clubhouse app is fairly new. How did you be fairly new? I don't know, but not too many people. Some people haven't even heard of it. So Clubhouse is an app only on iPhone or iPad or whatever, the Apple product. But you grew your following to 10,000 in 1 week. And I watched your video on that. It's new. What made you say, hey, I can do this and I can dominate it? Basically, you're dominating it in a powerful way.
Ever since I watched, Martin Luther King speak for the first time a long time ago, not live in person, but the first time I saw his video and saw the way that he was able to impact a nation with his voice, with his words. I've always loved words. I love the power of words, the power of a voice. I love that. I've always been fascinated by So I've studied, you know, the Les Browns, the Eric Thomases, the Jim Rohns, John Maxwell's, you know, the all the greats, right? All of the greats, Lisa Nichols, you know, all of them.
Yeah.
And
all the
yeah, you know, and so my show, Rise and Grind, was a combination of delivering a message voice wise and including some video concepts. But as soon as we got over to Clubhouse, I was like it was a no-brainer. Like I was on the app on a Saturday and I spent 16 hours on the app just listening. What's going on? How's the room work? Let's figure this out. What are you gonna do? You know, figuring out all this stuff. And then Sunday, I was like, yep, I'm gonna start streaming my show into here because it's the power of the voice. And so you can strip away all the video, all the cameras, all that stuff. But if you've got the voice and the inflection, you can make a difference. And so that Monday, I was on the app on Saturday. Sunday, I was like, let's do this. Monday, opened my first room on Clubhouse and started streaming the show in there. And yeah, now our club's got 60,000 followers. I've got 82,000 followers, you know, and it's been 100 days, basically 100 days. It'll be 100 days on Wednesday.
You know, I watched it. Like I said, I've been watching you since, and I think we I don't know, we did that program a long time ago, but I've been watching you really grow. I've actually watched your growth and progression from the sideline, you know, definitely from the sideline. But I'm like, that is amazing. So when it comes to Clubhouse, a lot of people are doing a lot of you know, here, buy my program. Let me show you how I did this. Buy my this, and I bought one. But buy my this, my coaching program, so I can show you how I do it. What do you do this? What is the overall underlying purpose? Because everybody has a purpose, and some of them are to sell their program or the courses and things like that. What do you do it for? What is your purpose?
Yeah, you know, we sell some stuff along the way because we need money to fuel the mission. But ultimately, you know, the mission is, I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact in their life. And there are people on this planet right now that do not know or understand that they are children of God. They do not believe that they have any self-value or any self-worth. They wake up every day miserable, depressed, anxious, spending all their time on social media, hiding in some dark corner of some dark room so that they can get away from it all or try to get away from it all. And so I believe we've been given the technology that we have today so that we can each do our part in finding every single one of those souls, every single one of those lost souls that's hiding in a corner somewhere. And so the reason that I do what I do is really my inspiration is as I study the most successful humans in the world, ones that have been able to spread a message far and wide. The most successful human of all time was Jesus. And 2,100 years ago, this dude had to get up in the morning, throw on some sandals and a robe, jump on a donkey or a camel, cross the desert with like heat and sandstorms and people trying to kill him and wild animals and facing dehydration and disease and all of this stuff. He had to go all that. He'd go miles through the desert so that he could reach some little village so that he could have an audience of 20 people, 40 people, 50 people, right? Mm-hmm. He would have to go through all that to get an audience of 50 people. And here we are in 2021, where I can click a button in my air-conditioned house with my little bright neon light. I don't even have to be wearing pants right now. It is so easy to reach. And there's 7 billion people out there, right? And we can literally touch every single one of them, not physically, but we can touch them, you know what I mean? And so I just feel like if he was able to spread a message of hope over 2,000 years ago that changed my life today, riding around on donkeys and camels, the least I can do with the technology that we have today is do my part to try to spread a message of hope to the farthest, darkest corners of this planet that I possibly can reach, because it's easy for me. I ain't got to do nothing compared to what he had to go through. So anytime I start thinking, oh, it's a lot of technology. Oh, this is hard. Oh, I got to get up early. Oh, I don't want to. Anytime I start thinking that, I'm like, shut up, dude. Are you kidding me? You are not. Look what Jesus did for you. The least you can do is go out and try to save one for him. And so that's really that's the method behind the madness.
It's the method behind the madness. And you did say early, I try 5:30 a.m. sometimes. I know I did. I did the 5:30 a.m. because I wanted to understand the magic or the blessing in it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get up at 5:30. I did one day. And the next day I tried it again and it was 6:30. So I was able to catch. The good thing is you could catch the replay on Instagram. That's behind the scenes. I got the behind the scenes. But you actually literally get up at 5:30 a.m. every morning to do this and reach the masses. You have an automotive background. Mm-hmm. Where does that all fit in and tie in with the automotive? Is that something you do as a profession? And this is what, is that what it is? I was trying to understand.
Yeah, so I've got 23 years in the automotive industry, and I've had a lot of success working in dealerships, and was able to make a name for myself in the automotive world. And so when I left automotive a couple of years ago, I left the retail side of automotive so that I could do the more consulting side of automotive. So now I work with dealerships all over the country with owners and general managers of their stores. And in doing so, it has created space for me to be able to do other things like Breakfast with Champions, Rise and Grind, so on and so forth. And so the way they kind of interweave is really the message is the same. When I go into the corporate world, I help them change the way they start their day so that it'll make a massive impact in their business. And I shift them to a focus of people before profits. With Rise and Grind, I'm helping people change the way they start their day. And I'm helping people shift their focus to people before profits. So it's literally the exact same ministry, if you want to call it that. It's the exact same ministry. It's just delivered in different ways. I speak automotive because I've been in it so long. So these guys can resonate with me. It's like I said earlier, right? I meet them where they are. I talk car with my car people. I can talk like fitness, early rising, motivation, that type of stuff with my Rise and Grind people. And so I meet people where they are, but the mission is exactly the same. It's not any different whatsoever. And so I'm a big fan, Shelly. I'm a fan of, the parable of the talents. It's my favorite parable in the Bible. And I feel like whatever gifts that you have been given, if you do not do everything you can to maximize those gifts, ultimately they will be taken away. And so I feel God has given me a gift of early rising, motivation, education, inspiration, right? He's given me a certain personality, an attractive personality, a gift with words. And so I just try to put all that together and lean in and do my part to multiply those talents. That's what it's all about.
I mean, you are doing your part. Have you ever, you come from the background, you said you behind the bars, homeless. How did you know how to get there? What was it that said, hey, this is my gift, this is my talent? How did you discover it?
Well, I've always been good at it. I've always been a great leader. I've always had a great voice. I emceed talent shows when I was in elementary school. I was able to lead people. I threw the biggest parties in high school. Everybody wanted to go to a Glenn Lundy party because I got this thing of bringing people together. And so I've always had it. The difference is when I was young, I used it for selfish reasons. And those selfish reasons caused me to burn a lot of bridges, which caused me to, burn bridges, make mistakes. I didn't believe in God. So I was living very 2D, mind and body. If it looked good and it felt good, the answer was yes, right? And so I was using my gifts. I was just using them for evil. And it wasn't until I understood the third dimension of us, mind, body, and spirit. If it looks good, feels good, and is good, then the answer is yes. Then that's when I was able to shift and take my talents and start to use them for good instead of evil. So it really is just a matter, if there, for those of you that are struggling to find your gift. I have 8 children, and I can tell you every single one of them, from my 21-year-old down to my 3-month-old, the gifts, you can see them already, whether they're 2 years old, 4 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old, 11 years old. Like, my son is a workhorse. The boy loves to work. He loves to farm. He loves to be outdoors. He loves nature, right? He gets up in the morning. He cleans his room without being asked. He comes downstairs. He does his chores without being asked, right? That's his style. My daughter, she loves to travel. She lights up whenever she's in New York City. The girl lights up, and she loves the stage, and she loves to dance. She's a dancer, right? And she loves her robe. She's got her fancy robe that she likes to be in as she's walking around the house, right? Like, they each have these unique seeds and gifts. So when you're looking for your gift or your talent, it's not out in front of you. Take a look behind you. Connect with the Father who knows you, and he will reveal it to you. He will say, don't you remember when you were 3? Don't you remember when you were 5? Don't you remember when you were 10? Don't you remember when you were 15? Like, he's been showing you your entire life. So I think sometimes we get too caught up in, you know, your gift has to be a career, or your gift has to be a trade or a task or a talent, when really your gift might be that when you walk into a room, everybody in that room lights up. That might be your gift. So how do we do more of that? Or your gift might be that you're able to talk to people that are really depressed and really sad. And for some reason, you've just always been the best shoulder in the world for people to cry on. Maybe that's your gift. So how can you do more of that? So I think too often in life, we try to box in and try to say, okay, well, we think our profession has to match. You know what I mean? Like, a profession is a gift. A profession ain't your gift. It's the impact that you make in other people's lives. That's your gift. So look back through your life. How have you made an impact on others? What do people always say about you, right? You hear it from your people all the time. And that's how you can identify who you are. Amplify that.
Amplify that. Look, I know I struggled, even though I was doing this, I struggled with understanding what I was supposed to do in this world. And sometimes you still do. There's those limited beliefs that come into your mind. You ever have any of those that creep in? Oh, maybe I can't, maybe I'm not. It seems like you're quite positive, and it doesn't seem like it ever did. But did you ever have limited beliefs?
Yeah, of course. And sometimes I still do. The difference is I now have awareness of them. So as soon as those thoughts creep in, which are often, right? I'm not good enough. That's too much. Sometimes it's even like, it's good enough, Glenn. You got good money, you got a good wife, you got good kids, just slow down, right? Like, all of those thoughts. And as soon as they pop into my head, I immediately am like, audit is what that thought is. Does it serve the greater purpose? If the answer is no, if it's not a positive, if it's not a net positive, then I squash it. And I replace it with a new thought. A new thought like, I am a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. That God, I got his DNA. Like, imagine LeBron James's son. Okay. I want you to think about this for just a second. If you saw LeBron James's son walking down the street, somebody was like, that's LeBron James's son. You'd be like, that boy could probably play some ball, right? You would just assume he's
Right.
LeBron James's son. He probably can play some ball. Now, don't get me wrong. He still got to work at it, maybe do a little practice. But we all agree that there is something in that boy's DNA that if you put a basketball in his hand, he might be pretty good. I think we can all agree on that. But yet we look at God and don't look at it the same way. You have God's DNA in you. He is a creator, the creator of the universe. Therefore, there is a creator in you. So you can create whatever life, whatever level, whatever it is that you choose. You have the ability to create it if you allow yourself and remind yourself. I have to remind myself, Shelly, every single day. Glenn, you are a child of God, bro. Why are you limiting yourself to the box? Get out of the box. lean into your gifts, lean into your talents, understand whose DNA you're carrying around, and go out there and represent.
That's right. Go represent. So you believe that you speak on whatever you do in the morning sets the stage for your success. That's why you
Oh,
have
yeah.
the Rise and Grind journal. You have the the Rise and Grind movement. Tell us some of those tips that you use in the morning to get your day started so that you can have a successful day.
Yeah. So I think it's super important that you have to tap into mind, body, and spirit every single morning. You got to tap into all three on a foundational level so you can basically root yourself so that you're prepared for whatever storms come on throughout the day, because we all know the storms are coming. And so the way that I do that is real simple. 5 simple steps. Step 1, never hit the snooze button. The snooze button is the devil. Stay away from that sucker. Number 2 is to don't touch your phone first thing in the morning. So I don't grab this thing. I shouldn't say that. I grab this and I put it on YouTube and I listen to instrumental music, no words, because I don't want anybody to influence me in the morning. But no social media, no emails, no text messages, no phone calls, no notifications, no nothing. I strictly use it for music, instrumental only, drop it on. And then step 3 is I write down the things that I'm thankful for. And then I write down my goals. And I call that 1 step, not 2. It sounds like 2 gratitude goals, but it's 1 step because I believe writing your goals by yourself, just goals by themselves, can sometimes actually have a negative effect, right? I wish I had more money. I wish I had a bigger house. I wish I was better looking, right? You start writing those things down and you're like, you start to feel like who you are right now is not good enough. And so we want to start with gratitude. I'm thankful for a roof over my head. I'm thankful for my health and that I woke up today. I'm thankful that my utility bills are paid as of this moment, right? I'm thankful for that. And then we go into goals, bigger house, better looking, all the different things. That's fine. But you're coming from a positive state where you are now is good enough and we're seeking greatness. That's the shift. So I always do gratitude first, then goals. Then I take care of the physical. I don't care if you walk, crawl, run, whatever. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. So get the body moving, get the blood pumping, or get the heart pumping, get the blood flowing. And then number 5, once you're all jacked up and you're in this energetic space, now it's important that you release this powerful energy out into the world. So step 5 is to send out an encouraging message, whether it be a text message, a Facebook message, write a little sticky note from one of your loved ones, stick it on the wall, release that positive energy to make an impact in somebody else's life. And when you do this, it's crazy because not only does that energy go out and impact them, but ultimately it gets converted and comes back to you to give you more fuel to keep on going. So those 5 simple steps, you do those every single day, it'll change your life.
Well, I hope everybody was paying attention because I'm ready. Look, I need to change my life. I'm grateful for everything, but I want I want it all. I want to make sense.
Yeah.
You consider yourself a organized person?
No, I'm a systematic person. So
Systematic.
personality wise, I'm not organized. So I create systems that help me to at least have some semblance of organization, but I am not organized at all. My wife will tell you, like, I lose stuff all the time. I forget stuff all the time. I'm not very organized, and so, but I do create systems, and I have people around me that fill in those gaps for me in those areas. I'm not very organized.
Not very organized, because that was my whole point. I'm not very organized, but I see that you have it all going on, and you're saying do all this in the morning, yet you have a show at 5:30. So that means you're getting up at what, 3 a.m.
Yeah, I get up at 3:20.
Oh well, I was just messing around. Really, 3:20?
Yeah.
So that means you have to go to bed super early.
Now I go to bed at 11. I sleep 4 hours, 20 minutes a night.
And that's okay. You're not feeling tired and
No, I'm more energetic than ever. So once you understand the power of sleep cycles, so most humans sleep their sleep cycle is between 2 and 3 hours long. And we stack sleep cycles, right? We might sleep 2 sleep cycles, 3 sleep cycles, 4 sleep cycles. But throughout the night, you're going to go light sleep, deep sleep, light sleep. Deep sleep, light sleep, deep sleep, light sleep. And so once you figure out your sleep cycles, which there's apps that you can use to help, and you can tweak your alarm clock, it takes a little while. But once you figure out your sleep cycle, if you wake up at peak, when you're at the peak awareness, the peak of your light sleep, you will feel refreshed like you slept for 3 days. So my sleep cycles are 2 hours and 10 minutes long. So if I'm on the West Coast or I'm traveling, I still got to do a show and I got to entertain the night before, I'll stay up later to make sure I only sleep 2 hours and 10 minutes. Because if I sleep 3 hours, I'll be super tired. I'll be in the middle of a sleep cycle. But if I sleep 2 hours and 10 minutes, I'll be at peak of my light sleep when I wake up. So I can do one sleep cycle, I can do two, I can do three, I can do four, whatever it is. So most of the time I just do 2 sleep cycles, 4 hours and 20 minutes while I'm here at home, because that's kind of my schedule. When I'm on the road, I might mix it up a little bit, do 3 cycles or 1 cycle or whatever we got to do. But the key is to know the exact amount of time of each cycle. And then it's like a superpower. At that point, you can just stack it up.
Whoa. That sounds like my science project. And no, I do wish I could master that, because I'm tired. I was staying up till 4 a.m. Getting up at 6 a.m. and my doctor said, you need more sleep. So
Right.
I need to go ahead and investigate that and figure out how that goes. I know you have a lot going on, 8 children.
Yes.
Husband to 1, father to
Yes.
8.
Yes.
So I know that's a lot to balance. If you could advise an up and coming, I guess would you call yourself, you're in media, so you're doing podcasts too, right? You're doing podcasts as well.
Sure. Yeah.
So what is some advice that you can give people to help them grow and monetize their podcast, their media platform?
Yeah, when you're going to grow on in media, it's just important that you include, 4 key components. I call them the 4 P's of social media, so or media in general. But the 4 P's are personal, professional, purposeful, and poll. POLL. And basically, what that means is you want to rotate through showing people a personal side of yourself, a professional side of yourself, the purposeful side, which means like make me feel something, make me cry, make me laugh, inspire me, motivate me. As long as it's a positive emotion, make me feel something. And then a poll really just stands for ask a question, right? But we say poll because then it's 4 P's and it's easier to remember. But ultimately, if in your media, if you do those 4 things, show the personal side, show the professional side, make people feel something, and ask questions where people can engage back with you. If you do those 4 things consistently over time, you can't help but win in media.
All right, let's keep winning, everybody. Thank you so much. Let them know how they can get in touch with you, because I know you're all over. So let them know how they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, if you just go to glennlundy.com, that'll connect to all my stuff, connects to all my social media links and so on and so forth. And I would love to connect.
Oh, I would be remiss and tell you, I meant to tell you about, or say how exciting it was to do the challenge, the dance challenge.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun
That
seeing the hashtag rise and grind flash mob, virtual flash mob. Yeah, that was
virtual
good.
flash mob. That was so much fun. I was thinking, really, am I going to do? I wasn't really sure. I was like, can I do this? But then once we did it, my sister and I, we got in here and we just thought we weren't that good. We tried it. I don't know.
Hey,
It
hey,
didn't
I
work for
love
us.
it. I love it.
So how was that? How do you feel about the reactions and the participation that came from the virtual flash mob?
Yeah, it was great. Seeing people smiling and laughing and dancing all over the planet. Like it doesn't get any better than that. I don't know the numbers. I didn't look at the numbers. I don't know how many people it reached. I just know that if you search hashtag what is it? Hashtag rise and grind mob on, and you can just see video after video after video after video of people of different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different belief systems, different upbringings, different languages, different everything, different ages, of course, and just see people all over the world dancing to a song that's like it's the song that was written for my show. It was just spectacular. It was absolutely spectacular.
I just wanted to know, because to me, like I said, I shared in the moment because I'm like, yes, let's do it. And then to see the reaction I got. I met some people, meaning there were some connections made from the one song. So you had people who followed each other, you had people who commented each other, reshared this stuff, and you saw the virtual connections come from that one interaction. So what's next? We're gonna do something else? I'm ready.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll be doing something. I just follow. I'm the lead follower. So God usually puts things in our path, and we either lean in, or if it looks good, feels good, and is good, the answer is yes.
Answer is yes. I can't wait. Everybody, thank you so much for indulging in this whole interview. I am so excited. It was something that I was really looking forward to, almost like Christmas. You know what I mean?
Hey! Thank you, Shelly. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. And I'm going to go off a live, and then I'll chat for you one second. Bye, everybody. If you're on Facebook and you had questions, so sorry. We'll get them soon later. We'll get it to them in the article or something.
That's right.